Okay, so I'm at home, and today's video is one I could actually do at home since I own it, and it's the camera. The camera I use is a Zoom QA, and it's weird because, how can I say, I've never done a camera review in my life. I've done audio equipment, yeah, sure, the whole freaking channel's about that, but I'll be referring to this a good deal in this video, and this is a Zoom H1. And you'll find out why in due course, in a sense. So to give you an idea, and this is my honest opinion of the camera since I bought it and own it. The camera costs €400 as of filming this, and I paid €400 for the camera. I could have went with different options. There was a Zoom Q4. I'll just check that. I believe it's the Zoom Q4. The Q4 is the step down, and yeah, it's the Q4, and the Q4 is 275 in the round as of filming this. So the reason I went for the higher end one was a few reasons. It has two XLR inputs, so I can plug in microphones if I need to. If I have I can plug into a mixing board if I need to capture audio that way for gigs and all that. So it's a very useful, versatile recording setup I have then. There's many other reasons, but the main reason is that I wanted a good camera that gave me options for the future. This was it. And you may be wondering why I went with Zoom instead of something like Panasonic and so on for cameras. And the reason was, I was paying off this camera, so that was the first reason, and that meant that I didn't own the camera until about a good while after it came into the shop, so I could actually use it in the shop while I was filming there, because they know me and they knew I was doing videos for them, so they let me do that. So that's why I got the camera there. And surprisingly, for €400, it's a really good camera. I wanted a compact camera, so that's why I went with a camcorder. I didn't go DSLR because I didn't want a big camera that I had to set up every day. I just wanted something small, compact, and did the job for me. So that was one reason I went for this. I want something easy to use, portable, and the other reason is great audio. So since Zoom are mainly an audio equipment company, so they do full pedals. They do what else did they do? They do handheld recorders like the H1, the QA, H5, and they do other stuff. So they do like mixing boards. I believe, what is it called? Yes, the R8, R16, and R24. That's what they were. So I used to own an R8 great board. At the time I didn't know how to use it, but since I've now gotten into recording, I know how to use it, and it's a great portable mixer and just a digital recorder in general. So yeah, that's so getting back to the camera. So Zoom are mainly a mainly recording and musical equipment kind of company. So they do mainly a lot of camera equipment as well for production, for capturing audio for films and all that stuff. So that was one of the reasons I wanted to go with Zoom for a camera, because it's great audio that you get on your camera. So that's why the camera for me personally. So I'm going to continue on with some of the specs on the camera itself. So it has, you can do, the video formatting that you can do on this is quite good and quite weird at the same time. So the max resolution of the sensor that's in this camera is, I'll read it off here since it's on screen at the moment. It's 1204 pixels by 1000. Oh, sorry, no, my mistake. It's 2304 pixels by 1200. Oh god. Again, you got your full HD. Sorry. You got your first resolution, which is the highest preset on this camera, which is 2304 pixels by 1296 pixels at 30 FPS. Then 1080 at 30, 720 at 60, 720 at 30, WVGA, at 60 and WVGA at 30. Yay. You also have your WAV audio format and your AAC, which is a lossless, I believe. Anyway, so some of the stuff that is built into this camera is a low cut filter, auto gain for console solos and meetings, stuff like that, compressor and limiter. So it's very versatile cameras go. Another thing I would like to point out about this camera is it can also, since it has a USB out, it can also be used as a webcam if you do need a webcam for conferences or live streaming or so on. And it can also be used as a desktop microphone if you need to record audio with your desktop. So it's actually quite useful in that kind of sense. So just continuing on with some of the specs: digital zoom, screen select, self timer. It has a 2.7 inch full color display. If it was to drive to full HD, it probably lags, so there's no point really with that size screen. There's no real point of doing full HD. The speaker in it is a 400 MW, so milliwatts, I believe. 8 ohm mono speaker. The speaker in it isn't that good personally, because in one of the videos I did previously, which was a piano video, I got a friend to play piano on it to show the full capability of the sound, and playing it back through the QA, the audio gained a lot, so it kind of came distorted in a sense, and then when you listen to it with headphones on, it was crystal clear. So the speaker in it isn't that good, but I digress, and continuing on. So the microphone, and this is the reason I have this, is the same as this practically. Yeah, it says nothing. So so it's two microphones in an XY pattern, same as this. The maximum sound pressure is 140 decibels. Input gain is plus 25. It's plus 52. Wow. Sorry. Equivalent input noise is minus 120 dBu or less. So the camera, I'm not really a microphone person, but I'll give you some ideas. So an XY microphone setup like this is quite useful because it can capture a whole room instead of one area in a sense. So that's quite useful for me personally, since I do guitar reviews and so forth. The outputs and inputs on the back are two XLR inputs for two mics, and yeah, I'll continue on. Hello? So you also have the USB in the back, which is a micro USB, I believe. Mini USB type B. So it's this one. So if anyone has a PlayStation 3 controller, or knows off that input, like that's the input on it. You can use it as a webcam and audio out, and also has a HDMI out. It's a mini HDMI, so if you need to connect it up to a TV for a better viewing of what you're capturing, yeah, you can do that. And yeah, that's really it. It takes 4 hours via USB plugged into something like a computer or so forth, and 2 hours and 45 minutes approximately for out of a wall. There's a plug socket behind me. That's what I'm pointing to. And more than 2 hours at 720 at 30. So depending on what you're recording at, it will give you a different outcome. So that's it for specs. Now on to the camera as a unit. And the mic can be swapped in and out. You can buy different mics accessories for it, and some of them are quite useful. So like the shotgun mic, the capsule mic, and I think there's a higher end XY mic. I'll just check what it's called. So it's the XY H5 Shock mounted. Oh, it's shock mounted. Okay, that's why it's higher. So it's like a condenser mic. You would hold it in. I haven't got my condenser mic here. So you hold it between a load of wires, and it wouldn't get the vibration of you holding it in the sense. So it'd be a lot better. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, would I recommend this camera? Yes. For the camera itself, it's a very high-end camera for video capturing, and the picture on it's great. As you can see, the lens is warped, but I kind of like that. It's a 160 degrees lens, and you can see it by the wall. It's kind of curved up in the middle, and you can kind of notice that in the videos I've been doing lately. And just the color in general, and just this was the problem before. I was using my phone, so my phone did me for the bit, but the way phones record is variable FPS. So 1 minute it can be 20, next minute it can be 30, next minute it can be 60. It just compresses it, and that means if you are trying to sync it up with audio in video software such as Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, so forth, it will always be out of sync. It can't be fixed. Now, lucky for me, the majority of the videos I did were in sync, and it came up to the closer I got to the end of it where this actually arrived, that most of the recordings were out of sync. So yeah, it did me, but it's not a great tool in the sense. The new camera is much better. It's easier to work with. It's less hassle, and I know that when I use this, the FPS is going to be great. It's going to have better video, because this was 720. It was a selfie cam, so I could actually see how I'm framed in the lens, and this is full 1080 video at 30, and it's a solid 30, so I can actually record properly. So that's it. This has been my review, and briefly why I went with a Zoom QA and my thoughts on it. It's a great camera. It's worth the money if it's what you need in a sense. If not, there's other options out there like the Q4 and so forth, but I'd highly recommend this camera. So see you.